Hello, it is 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition. For tonight headlines, we have the signing of a partnership agreement to promote inclusion of people with disability. For the international scene, in Zambia, the discovery of wooden structures dating back almost half a million years. Welcome to our newsroom. Following a meeting between the foreign ministers of the Islamic Republic of Iran and the Republic of Djibouti on Thursday, 21 September 2023, on the sidelines of the 78th session of the United Nations General Assembly, the Republic of Djibouti and the Islamic Republic of Iran, in accordance with the interests and aspirations of their own peoples, have decided to restore diplomatic relations. The two governments have agreed to further develop the friendly relations between the two countries on the basis of mutual respect for sovereignty, equality, mutual benefit, and peaceful coexistence. The countries have resolved to strengthen cooperation on a wide range of areas, including investment, trade, science, and technological innovation. Done in New York, this day is Thursday, 21 September 2023. A meeting to present the revised fundamental studies brevet and the new assessment procedures for the ninth grade was held yesterday. At the Ministry of National Education, it is worth noting that the revisions of curricula began in 2018 comes to an end this school years with the implementation of curricula and didactic tools for the final years of the basic education. Academic, social, digital, methodological, and life skills now integrated into these curricular revisions placed the learners at the heart of learnings and the entire educational process. Thus, as part of this curricular reforms, assessment methods in basic education have been reviewed in light of recommendations from national consultations and the November-December 2016 symposiums diagnostic carried out in the file of on the basis of studies and reflections conducted with the international specialists in assessment and dosmology. The fundamental brevet of studies, the certificate awarded on completion of the basic education curriculum, have been revised to validate the acquisitions of skill in the so-called core subject of languages on instructions, mathematics, and science. Through 4 punctual final tests, continuous assessments are now the preferred method, since they take into account all the learning achieved during the school years and have the advantages of the restrictive typology. For example, all subjects taught in the grade 9s are assessed in the forms of continuous tests, which are subject to minimums inspectorate general, but tests common to all schools and national assessment guarantee reliability and fairness. The Minister of Social Affairs Solidarity, His Excellency Ulufa Ismail Abdo, and the CEO of the General Directors of the National Agency for Persons with Disability, Douali Saeed Mahmoud, signed a partnership agreement yesterday. The event, which took place at the Minister Department offices, was attended by the respective teams of the two institutions. The aim of the agreement is to strengthen the inclusion of people with disability and those living in poverty in all social programs. Indeed, this strategic collaboration aims to promote the full and equal integration of people with disability into the economic and social life. A key element of this initiative is the establishment of interoperability between the MAS and the NPH databases. This agreement marks a major step forward in the government's commitment to building a more inclusive and equitable society for all. For her part, the Minister of Social Affairs Solidarity, Ulufa Ismail Abdo, said that the aim of the agreement is to strengthen the inclusions of people with disability and those living in poverty in all social programs. Indeed, this strategic collaborations aims to promote the full and equal integrations of people with disability into the economic and social lives. Key elements of this initiative is the establishment of their interoperability between the minister department and the agency databases. And now in China, the Minister of Energy in charge of natural resources, Younis Ali Ghedi, began a working mission in Beijing, the Chinese capital, yesterday at the invitations of the director of the Chinese group, China Communications and Construction Company, CCCC. The Minister Younis Ali Ghedi's working visit to China is part of the implementations of the government strategy to promote, enhance, and develop our country's natural resources potential. The Minister began by visiting the Chinese group's head offices, where he learned about its various activities and projects in Africa and around the world. The Minister and the accompanying delegations then met the general managers of the CCCC's overseas activity, Mr. Tang Xianglong, surrounded by senior executives from the Chinese firm. Discussions between the two men focused on the possibility for salt investment to increase the production and exports of sodium bromide from Lac Assal to world market in the ways and means to developing and exploiting calcium bromides and the need to produce industrial salt as well as caustic soda and chlorines on the high potential Lac Assal site. In Saudi Arabia, where a Djiboutian delegation led by Abu Bakr Omar Haddi, chairman of the Ports and Free Zone Authorities, made a working visit. He was accompanied by the managing directors of the Sovereign Djibouti Fund, Dr. Slim Firiani, as well as representative of the Ministry of Energy, the State Secretariat for Investment, the Djibouti Chamber of Commerce, and other senior officials of the Ports and Free Zone Authority. The main objective of the visit was to strengthen bilateral trade and investment cooperation with the Saudi authorities and businessmen. The delegation sought to promote investment in Djibouti's free zones. The mission is also aimed to highlight Djibouti's business-friendly environment, the investment opportunities available, and to encourage more Saudi companies to invest in Djibouti's free zones. Emphasis was placed on the importance of boosting trade and economic exchanges between the two nations using the state-of-the-art infrastructure offered by Djibouti. During the visit, the Djibouti delegation had the honor of being received by several Saudi dignitaries in the cities of Jeddah, Riyadh, Daman, and Jazan. These meetings were attended by the ambassador of the Republic of Djibouti to Saudi Arabia, the Aydin Said Pamakrama. The Djibouti Chamber of Commerce, in partnership with the Ministry Delegate to Digital Economy, organized a crucial information on the morning of Thursday, focusing on cybersecurity and the fight against cybercrime. The event brought together a diverse audience of entrepreneurs, technology professionals, and government representatives to discuss the growing issues around digital security in the country. The event kicked off with the opening speeches by the Secretary General of the Chamber of Commerce, Ms. Hibo Usman Ahmed, and Mr. Abdullah Ibrahim Umar, the Secretary General of the Ministry of Digital Economy, who stressed the crucial importance of the cybersecurity in today's business climate and called for enhanced cooperation between the public and private sectors to combat cybercrime. The Secretary General of the Chamber of Commerce, Ms. Hibo Usman Ahmed, said that leading IT security experts moderated these discussions, providing valuable information to participants. This initiative testifies to the growing importance of cybersecurity and data protections in an increasingly connected world. The Secretary General of the Ministry of Digital Economy, Abdullah Ibrahim Umar, said that this morning's session is covered a range of cyber security topics, including current trends in online trades, best practices for protecting businesses and individuals, and the resources available for reporting cybercrime incidents. The Republic of Djibouti will take part in the Sama International Religious Festival to be held in Cairo, Egypt from September 2023 to 2028. This festival, which brings together nations from all over the world in a spirit of celebrating the diversity of religious belief and promoting interreligious understanding, represent an exceptional opportunities for peaceful dialogue, cultural exchanges, and highlighting the richness of our spiritual and cultural heritage. A delegation from Djibouti, headed by the Director of Cultures, is actively preparing to take part in this event. The delegation includes the 3 young winners of the National Qasaid competition is organized by the Ministry of Youth and Culture this year. It should be also noted that it was on the initiative of the Ministry of Youth and Culture that a delegation from Djibouti took part in this festival last year. Djibouti's Minister of Youth and Culture would like to express her deepest gratitude to the organizers of the International Religious Festival in Cairo for this prestigious invitation, for their laudable visions of promoting interreligious harmony through the world. Djibouti's ambassador to Cairo, Ahmed Ali Barre, visited the president of Cairo University, Professor Dr. Mohammed Othman, to strengthen the means of cooperation in the field of research and academia. During the meeting, Dr. Mohammed Usman, president of the university, expressed Cairo's university's support for all visions and perceptions that strengthen cooperation relations between the university and the relevant authorities in our countries. Led by the University of Djibouti, he expressed the university's support for our Djiboutian students studying at the university. The two sides discussed the latest development underway in the Egyptian higher education and scientific research systems, particularly with regard to the new conditions linked to scholarship, in addition to talking about the cooperation agreement previously signed between Cairo University and the University of Djibouti, and work to implement what has not been implemented and sign new agreements following the path of ongoing scientific development in the academic file, as well as exchanges of conversations about the upcoming visit of the President of University of Djibouti to University of Cairo in response to the invitations of the President of Cairo. At this visit aims to deepen cooperative relations between the two parties. The traffic control operations carried out by the National Police are continuing in the town centers and on the outskirts of Balbala. To this end, the men of the Public Security Department and the Interventionist Company have been deployed on the main road to check documents relating to the driving and circulation of vehicles, such as car registration papers, tinted windows, and helmet for two-wheelers. Alcohol checks have also been stepped down on public transport, in cabs, and on living nightclubs. These various operations undertaken by the National Police are in response to the need to drastically reduce the rate of fatal accidents on our roads. The aim is also to limit the number of infringements of the highway code. The aim of these checks is to make road users more aware of their responsibilities by forcing them to comply with traffic regulations beyond the preventive and repressive aspects. The National Police aims to improve road safety in order to reduce the number of road accidents. It is noted that the National Police will continue this effort to combat road insecurity for as long as necessary, and this to ensure the well-being of our population.
waxaan ahay duubi dadkiisa hagaaya shuruucda dalkiisa dastuurka ilaasha waxaan ahay duubi dadkiisa hagaaya shuruucda dalkiisa dastuurka ilaasha digtooni anaa leh dilaagiya tuuga damaaci shisheeye danayste ma yeelo digtooni anaa leh dilaagiya tuuga damaaci shisheeye danayste ma yeelo wixii nabadda diida dalkiisa nacaaya anaan kolna daynin dembiila ha dhaafin wixii nabadda diida dalkiisa nacaaya anaan kolna daynin dembiila ha dhaafin wixii nabadda diida dalkiisa nacaaya anaan kolna daynin dembiila ha dhaafin anaan kolna daynin dembiila ha dhaafin anaan kolna daynin dembiila ha dhaafin
As part of the French cooperation program, French firefighters provided a 2-week training course for 15 trainee firefighters. The event took place at the Civil Protection Headquarters. The training focused primarily on operational command management at the level 3, which is responsible for fire scene management. The fire chief analyzes the situation, assesses the conditions on site, and provides an appropriate response to bring the fire under control. The training was particularly timely as this highly technical course has an important safety aspect. The Civil Protection Command has a long-standing relationship with the French Fire Department, which is reflected in regular training sessions with the Djibouti Civil Protection. The lively ceremony ended with the traditional presentation of a diploma to the trainees firefighters. Colonel Mahmoud Musa Mahmoud also presented the trainers with a gift on this occasion. In his speech, the representative of the French cooperation, Colonel Laurent Legoff, expressed his satisfaction at the continuing cooperation between French firefighters and their Djiboutian counterpart. For his part, Colonel Mahmoud Musa Mahmoud expressed his gratitude to the French firefighters, trainers, and congratulated the trainees on their diligence and dedication through the 2-week training course. For the international scene, structures dating back almost 500,000 years have been discovered in Zambia. Archaeologists believe that the simple log structures may be the oldest example of human constructions in wood. The remains of a simple stone-age structures are perhaps the earliest evidence of earlier human wooden construction. The construction is basic, a pair of logs stacked on top of the other, joined by notches. In these studies, the researcher used a new method called luminescence dating, which uses tiny mineral present in the sand to estimate how long the materials had been buried. The tons of cocaine seized at sea in the USA and Brazil. Cocaine galleries, the U.S. Coast Guard unloaded almost 5.5 tons of cocaine worth over $160 million in Miami. Brazil recorded its biggest ever drug seizures in operations on the high seized 3.6 tons of cocaine were seized off the coast of Recife in direction to Africa. The 5 crew members of the boat faces 35 years in prison. And this is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.